Hello.
Hello. Welcome, everyone.
Hey.
Happy Thursday.
Good.
How are we doing
It's
today?
Thursday already.
Yes, already. So welcome everyone in the chat or watching right now. I hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. Let's go around the room as usual and see what's up with everyone. We'll start with Ams. She has got some fun things going on right now.
Yeah. So I figured for Thanksgiving, I'm knitting this pumpkin. So I want to see if I can finish it during the podcast tonight, and then you guys can see the finished product.
Nice.
So I'll be doing that while we're talking and hashing it out about Thanksgiving.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Very cool.
How about you, Chan Chan?
Oh, I'm doing good.
That's cool.
I'm doing good, chilling. I'm gutting my kitchen, emptying out cupboards, getting rid of shit. I found more coffee cups than any one human should own.
You should come to my house.
We have a lot. I collect coffee cups a lot.
I found I found a set of 6 black cups that I don't need because I have a set of 4 that are just plain.
Mm-hmm.
I found a set of white ones with a gray bottom. They're perfectly fine, but we don't need them.
Mm-hmm.
I found another set of 4 almost pedestal coffee cups that are the pedestal's purple, the outside of the cup is green, and the inside of the cup is blue. And it's a set of 4, and we don't need those either. And this is I'm just talking about what we don't need. We have so many more that are perfectly fine.
I'm sure nerdy ones and stuff like that. I got a whole set from the M&M world, so it's one of every of the M&M people, and then or I don't know what to call them, characters. And then I had to go back a couple years later because they finally released a brown one.
There you go.
The brown one to match the set and all that stuff. Plus, I got my Slytherins and the.
That's cool.
There's a lot of random stuff, all the weird ones we kept a hold of, and then I have a set of reddish orange ones that are a 4 set that I kept. So the set of 6 black ones, they're smooth on the outside, and then I have a set of 4 black ones, but they're they're soft to the touch, but they're not shiny. I don't know if I'm explaining myself well.
They're almost like a matte. It's
They're like a matte,
finish.
but they feel nice in your hand.
Yeah.
You know? So I kept those. And I can't remember all the other ones because there was so many random. Oh, there was 2 random Christmas mugs in there that I'm why do we even have these? I have my I have my rainbow mug. I have my it's I'm a weirdo mug or something. It says something about being a weirdo on it. And these are all mugs my aunt had given me. So I have all of those, and I have her Elvis mug, and of course we have the Super Nintendo mug and my koala mug and all these monstrous mugs, because now Walmart is selling mugs for Christmas that come with hot chocolate or some shit too, and they have around here they're selling Hershey's and Reese's ones that are freaking huge. They're this big around and this tall. And I'm I needed those. So, we went and bought 2 of the Reese's ones because, peanut butter cups in this house are a dime a dozen. Needed. Yeah, exactly. So there's those. And then we found Sock Monkey mugs at Walmart while we were there. And we had to buy 2 of those because we had to have a matching set of those because we had matching Reese's mugs. So now they're there. They're in the cupboard. It's a coffee mug extravaganza out there right now because the countertops are just covered in them. And then I found sets of plates and stuff in the back of one of the cupboards, how you have the weird corner cupboards in your kitchen, and in the very back of it there's all kinds of random bullshit. Well, I found 2 sets of plates in 2 different corner cupboards that are now just sitting out randomly on my countertops because I'm what the fuck am I going to do with these now? I don't even know. I don't even know why I have them.
Wow.
So I've been cleaning out cupboards, and it's also part of we put together 2 different households when we moved in together, and some things just kind of got pushed into the back of cupboards and pushed into other cupboards, and now I'm finally like completely gutting everything and moving stuff around. And I decided I was putting all my spices in the pantry because I saw these beautiful pictures of this pantry, and this woman just had all these spices and herbs hanging in her pantry and had the mortar and pestle in there. And it just looked so like, I don't know, like how I wish my house looked, you know? So I was like, fuck it. I'm putting on the pantry and I'm doing all that shit. So we've been spending the day reorganizing the kitchen. Yesterday we cleaned up leaves out of the yard. So Marissa and I have just been busy little bees because Elijah's back to work.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How's that going?
He gets paid tomorrow. First
Nice.
paycheck. I'm
That's
excited.
That's
Oh, man.
awesome.
I want to see how worth all this hard, because he's been working really hard. He works in a warehouse now. It's a little different. So I want to see the look on his face. I want to see how that goes. But anyway,
It'll bulk him up
Yeah.
mentally and physically.
I think it's already starting to. He seems more confident than I've seen him in the last year
Oh, good.
That's
already.
awesome.
He's
Good.
like 2.5 weeks in on a new job, and he's already like, I don't know, feeling better, it seems.
Well, he's not in a hostile environment. He's not dealing with a dickwad of a boss. He's being utilized for strength and not being put down because of it.
Yeah, he's already sort of like being told that he is going to have an assistant position to the guy that hired him
Nice.
very
That's
soon.
good.
Awesome.
So, yeah,
Keep working hard and he'll move up the chain.
that's what I told him. He's gonna try. And he works with a lot of guys who speak Spanish, and he very minimally speaks Spanish. So like, he's telling me about all the hand gesture conversations that he's having with these guys because they don't really communicate like verbally to each other. So it's all just a series of like hand gesture conversations, and I think it's hilarious. It sounds like a good time. Yeah.
He won't realize he'll pick it up. He'll probably pick it up pretty quickly. If he's
Yeah.
around it enough.
He's good at that stuff anyway. I mean, he worked with Italians and he caught on to a little bit of Italian, you know, like here and there from working with them. So he could speak
Good.
some of it and he could understand most of it. And his brain just works that way.
Mhm.
And then he tells me, he's like, so I can't wait to get my paycheck tomorrow. It should be this much. And I'm like, yeah, but don't forget about taxes and your insurance and all the other stuff. He's like, Mom, I already did all the math. I'm like, shut up. You didn't. You don't even know.
You're like, who is this person?
No, I called him a calculator when he was a kid because I'd take him to the grocery store with me. And when we were in the checkout line, he would tell me how much the bill was going to be with
Wow.
taxes. He was
Jeez
like
Louise.
11. I'm like, you're insane. How do you know this? He's like, I
Actually.
just figured it out. I was paying attention to stuff while you're picking it up off the shelf. I'm like, well, you should be fine when you're an adult. You're doing better than I do. I'm ready. Anyway.
Shit.
9 times out of 10, I used to go through the checkout line and have to put stuff back because I'd have like this much in my budget. And I'd be like, nope, take that out. Nope, take that back out. You know, and he's not going to have to worry about that.
You're one of those people that I didn't like when I was a courtesy clerk, and I had to now go do all the bill backs and things of that nature once it was dead. But it's okay, because sometimes it sucks bagging.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It really sucks when you have like frozen items that you take off and you have to like they sit there for way too long. And you're like, well, I don't know if we can save this now.
no, it still goes back in there. It just becomes the customer's problem once they take it home.
Oh shit.
Yikes.
No fucks given.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, sometimes you can't. Most
Yeah,
of
they can't do any of that stuff because of the. Yeah, I mean, it depends. If it's like something that's being given back from like outside the store in, but if it's just chilling in the corner for like an hour, it will go back in there. Like depends on who's working or whatnot, and whether or not they care enough to keep it in mind. I mean,
You
trust me, the things that I saw working in the grocery store. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Don't
I
get the
believe
ground
it.
beef.
It's kind of horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, I buy my ground beef straight from the deli at Carnes, and they get it straight from like butcher shops and farms. So like that's where I'm buying my meat. I don't mess around with that shit. Anyway,
Fair
Lady
enough.
Love, how are you?
I'm doing good. Surviving my fourth week back to work now. It's definitely been interesting, but
Remind yourself. Crap.
yeah, I swear, like the weeks have just blurred together.
Yeah,
I'm definitely excited for the little break at Thanksgiving.
yeah. Can't blame you.
Yeah. And of course, we were going to be traveling to see a certain someone, but now with everything,
Yeah.
it is what it is, though.
Yeah, it's ridiculous and stupid, but what can you do? I love that lovely like announcement,
Mhm.
the travel announcement for Pennsylvania. I was like, yeah, that's cute. That's real cute.
That was a lot, man. Like, holy
Mhm.
crap. They're
Yeah.
like really trying to crack down. That kinda terrified me. I was like, what the hell? They just came
Well,
out
I know cases in Philly kind of blew up, and that's had some people pretty sketched, and then it's just been a rough, I think, couple of months, and everybody wanted to get out and visit people and get out and do stuff, and now all of a sudden, like, cases are starting to skyrocket again, and I think people are just want to take precautions before it gets out of control, which I don't have a problem with. Like, I want to spend time with friends and family, but I want to be smart and I want to be safe.
Yeah. First and foremost.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that,
that's the
just
most important.
taking care of Jason with his bum hip.
How's that going?
It's going. I mean, he's been doing physical therapy. He's done twice this week.
That's good.
What's nice is where his physical therapy is. It's just up the road from where I work, so I've been able to drop him off these last two mornings on my way to work.
Nice.
Neat.
Convenience is always helpful, especially in this day and age.
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it. What about you, Miss Anna?
Pecan pat.
I woke up this morning thinking that today was Friday. I've been thinking today was Friday all day long.
Don't
Oh,
I'm
don't
so
do that
bad
to
for
me.
work.
Yes. And then I was like, wait a minute. No, it's Thursday. I went, damn. Okay. So I guess I still have one more day this week.
Yeah.
Until Sunday.
Yeah, I feel like this whole week is just kind of when.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Thanksgiving is next week, so I'm sitting there going, okay, what am I going to do for Thanksgiving dinner? I guess we're just going to make a turkey breast. And I'm like, and I need turkey legs. And Russ got a turkey breast. We can't find turkey legs anywhere. The stores are freaking getting empty. And I'm going, fuck it. If I have to, I'll just bake the turkey breast and we'll have turkey breast. That's it. Turkey breast. Just turkey breast.
Well, I mean, some turkey's better than no turkey, right?
Yeah.
True. I don't know. At least, the kids are happy that at least your Russ isn't making a lasagna.
Wait, why?
Why?
He made it. Well, he made a lasagna one year, and Rhea admitted that she said she came down and she went, "Oh, we're having lasagna." Oh, and she was like, "Damn it, I was so freaking wanting turkey." I'm like, I'm sorry.
It was like there was one time
Turkey.
we used to always do like a really big Thanksgiving family, like my mom's side of the family, my dad's, all of that would come together. And one year, my aunt called and went, we're not gonna be able to make it up for Thanksgiving. Her husband wanted to do Thanksgiving with his dad at the country club, where they didn't get turkey, they got roast beef. And she was like, I don't want roast beef for Thanksgiving. So after that, she was like, never again. Never
Yeah.
again.
Oh
Nope.
my god.
It's just not the same.
Mm-mm.
I don't know why. I mean, you can have turkey any time of year, I guess. It's that tradition thing, you know.
It's smelling the turkey as it's cooking early in the morning, and
Ugh.
just making everything to go with it.
Yeah. And
Oh,
and then there's like the memories, like the
Mhm.
family stuff, and even from the time you were little, things like that. It's just
It all comes flooding back.
yeah, that just the smell of the turkey or the pumpkin pie or whatever. Like you get the cinnamon and the savory and the sweet smells going on all at the same time, and it just like floods you with all those crazy memories and silly times and stuff like that.
What about you, Grims? How are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, as you can see, I'm doing my makeup because I'm not feeling good about the way I look lately. A lot of the working in retail and you have to wear the mask around and stuff of that nature has caused my face to just break out. I mean, as I said earlier before the show started, I probably could have done more to help prevent it or whatnot and such, but it still just kind of sucks. I mean, I'm fine not wearing makeup and still being, whatever. I've done it on the show multiple times and things of that nature. But sometimes, it kind of just really takes a hit when you're just like, yeah, no. You just start feeling
One
bad
of
about
those
yourself.
days.
Yeah, Chan asked if I was wearing lipstick. I was like, no, just put some chapstick on. My lips have just been so chapped from wearing a mask all day and the breathing.
Exactly. And it can just take a hit on your confidence in that sense. And there's also just the stress of work and now the holiday season's coming up.
Yeah.
And just, a lot of BS that happens sometimes, and that can also hit your confidence in a mental way.
Mm-hmm.
A whole lot of that stuff.
Yeah, it was like last week. I got hit with like the mass acne plus hormonal acne.
Yeah.
Because I had skipped October because of the stress, so it all hit me last week, and I was just breaking out like all on my forehead, like under my chin. I was just like, oh.
Yeah, it's just stressful, and I've talked about it on the show before, but it's just, I'm a pimple popper. It just is what it is. Gross or whatever you want to be on that type of stuff. I just can't stand the feeling of it on my face. I like watching them too, but when it's on me, the pressure that it has, it bugs me. And so then I just start, and because of the stress that goes on, I just take it out on myself. Like I just do. I take it out on my own stuff. And so it's stressful. And I know I'm not alone in all that type of stuff. And I just want to be honest about it. It sucks. It doesn't make me happy doing those things to myself, but it just,
Oh, it's like my poor nails right now. Poor nails from just washing my hands so much. They've become brittle, and I've just been peeling at them, and like the skin is just.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate it because I look at my nails and I'm
working.
just like, these are disgusting, and I should take care of them, but yet, what can I do?
Yeah, exactly. What are you gonna say, Anna?
There's working hands. It's a little green tub, and it's
yeah.
a lot of shop people and stuff like that use it because you wash your hands so much when you work in a shop. But if you put it like on your fingers and stuff like that, it keeps your daggone fingers from cracking. I have a bad time with one thumb, my right thumb. It cracks and splits every year. And one of the technicians a couple of years ago was like, "Here, try this." And I started using it. And I'm like, "Oh shit." So if you put it on, 3 or 4 times a day.
O'Keefe's
working hands. Yep.
Yeah, I've gotten their foot cream, and it was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, the working hands is great on your fingers. It keeps them really moisturized, and it actually will last through a couple of hand washings.
Well, what also I've been doing is I got really lazy on it was oiling like my cuticles and keeping them oiled, and I got really lazy about doing it because with being home, I didn't have to worry about it. But now being back at work and washing my hands so much, I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, it just doesn't help having to deal with all that type of stuff. It's just, of course, it's new habits and different changes and hygiene.
Well, and because I'm working with kids, let's be honest, that don't really wear masks.
Mm-hmm.
And we're starting to get to the snotty season. And there are also kids that are, I'll be honest, they're droolers. Some of them are droolers. I have to constantly wash my hands, hand sanitize. Every time I deal with one kid, I have to wash my hands before I do it with another.
Yeah,
wash
so you're
my
not
hands
passing it
again.
between each kid and someone doesn't
Yep.
you have to be careful
Yep.
about all that stuff. I mean, it's once again good habits. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
But it's
it still
also
takes
one
the
of
bottom.
those. It's a lot. It just takes so much to remember.
Yes, exactly. We have to do the same thing too. Sanitize in between every single customer as well. Sanitize everything every 2 hours, and it's just like you got to go on. And I found out that I'm actually allergic to the stuff, so now I have to wear gloves while handling the cleaning stuff because it gives me migraines, which is annoying. And like I'll be perfectly fine, but I guess if I'm smelling it or it's on my skin or something of that nature, I end up just having a reaction. And then, I get home feeling miserable, then I'm reset and I'm doing it again the next day. And then it's like not fun, but the consequences, you gotta be clean. Everything's gotta be clean on that sense. So at least, tough through it on that aspect.
But I can say I've definitely gotten my steps in and much, much more since being back at work.
That's cool.
Now, I know we want our happy subject and such, but I wanted to just talk about something that I feel that might be interesting, if you ladies don't mind.
Sure.
I'm trying to pull it up and add it in here real quick. But essentially, it's a topic that I've seen, kind of discussed by a lot of, I guess, the newer generation, in a sense. Essentially, the topic is toxic masculinity. I don't know if we've talked about it on the show before.
I don't think we have.
No? Actually, we'll get back to that. We have someone who just popped in. Let's see how she's doing real quick before we go over to that one. Hello.
Long time no see.
I know, it's been really interesting lately. It's new job is going well. Going very well. So how's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Surviving.
We're here. We're here. We're
Eating
smiling. We're here. Yes.
It just made me want to go, we're here. We're queer. Get used to it.
Yes.
Eating chocolate.
I did. Sorry.
It's fine.
Oh, no, you're good.
Well, anywho, so I'm going to see if I can try to pop it up real quick. I think I'm going to do it as an overlay, and I'll try reading it real quick. So
I love your hair, by the way. Love it.
So Alonzo Larone, which is this YouTuber that I watch, who's Get a Dictionary. He likes to make fun of people for being stupid or whatnot. He had posted this on his Instagram, and I thought it was interesting. And since two of you have sons, I guess it would kind of relate on, trying to teach the new generation for it. So it reads, can I ask you all some serious questions? Why y'all be saying y'all want a man that cooks, cleans, but you won't buy your son a play kitchen and a play broom? Why do you want boys to understand girls' bodies and the power of no, but you don't let them play with dolls? Why y'all spending your paychecks on Ralph Lauren, Tom Ford, Michael Kors, but you won't buy your son a sewing machine? Why y'all be out here falling over yourself at Chris Brown's tire dance moves, but your son can't be in a dance class? Why y'all tell your sons to stop crying and be a man, but will beg a 30-year-old man to be more sensitive? And you spend so much energy making sure your sons don't grow up gay, whatever that means, versus raising a cultured, tolerant, respectful individual. Hashtag, but I don't know what I'm talking about.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I could address each one of those points if you want me to.
No, you can do whatnot.
My son knows how to sew on buttons, and he knows how to use my sewing machine. He cooks regularly and makes his own homemade sauces, and I'm teaching him how to make all kinds of homemade everythings. He's been baking with me since he was like 5. I taught him how to use all the laundry equipment he could possibly ever use. I taught him at the age of 5. I was like, I'm not doing your laundry. You're gonna learn. Here's a basket full of clothes. Learn how to fold them. Here's how you fold this shit. You know, like I don't feel like it's a male female issue. I think it's a human issue. I think we have to start teaching all people how to do all things. I think it's a very important thing to address. And I've never once told my son to man up and not cry. My son will cry at the drop of a hat. He ain't afraid. He knows I'm not going to make fun of him for crying. Sometimes I'll look at him and be like, all right, do you got to be so dramatic about this? But I say that to his sister too. So, you know, it's not a favoritism thing. It's not a male female thing. I feel like I treat my children very equally. And there was never any like male female toys in our house because there was her and him. So like it was all toys. It was like there were cars, there were dolls, there was all kinds of stuff, and everybody played with whatever they felt like playing with, and no one got made fun of for any of it. You know, like I was out in the yard teaching all of the kids how to hula hoop, boys and girls alike. You know, it's not a
Cats are getting in trouble.
Okay.
I think it's one of those things. Like I think that it's something that needs to be addressed. I agree with that, but like I feel like it's less likely as times are changing. Like people are not raising children like that as much anymore as like what this person is writing and asking these questions. You know, at least a lot of the parents that I know directly do not treat their kids on a male female gender specific way, you know, like it's just it's unnecessary, you know. I don't know if you feel that way, Anna, but that's definitely how.
Yeah, no, I mean, I am adamant that, you know, my kids they can do what they want to do. If they, you know, my son loved playing with Hot Wheels cars and wrestling figures and stuff like that, but he also had the Weebles toys and stuff. And he had his, when he was 2, I babysat a little girl, and she was his best friend, and they would play dress up, and they would play, you know, they'd cook, and they would, you know, they'd go in the kitchen. I'd give them all the pots and pans and stuff, and they would cook and they would clean. And so, yeah, I never split them gender wise. And when Rhea was born, they're 5 years apart, and she always wanted to play with his Hot Wheels cars and his wrestling figures. And he would bring her toys and his toys all into like forts that he would build, and they would sit and play with toys, and he would let her play with his wrestling guys, and he would sit and he would play dolls with her when she wanted to. And I, you know, Russ and I never were like, you know, this is boy toys, this is girl toys. Because I mean, he and I both grew up with, you know, these are boy toys, these are girl toys, don't touch the, you know, never shall the two mix. And you know, and I grew up loving, you know, loving G.I. Joe and He-Man and, you know, stuff like that, and Transformers. And my mom was like, you can't play, those are boy toys. Here, have a Holly Hobby Easy Bake Oven. I'm like, I wanted a freaking Cobra Commander, you know? And it just,
and now
there's things where I was like, sure, if you want the doll, you can have it. I don't care. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Growing.
You know, now it's like,
Huh?
Did you
What?
freeze?
Did I freeze?
Huh? Who?
Yeah. Hannah, we can't hear you if you're talking.
No.
Okay.
There you are.
All right. Anyways, yeah, I mean, it doesn't as far as with you know, gender though, I've seen that too. Like a lot of RJ's friends, they were raised the same way, where there's no real difference. So I don't know.
I know.
So essentially agreeing that toxic masculinity is on its way out, essentially.
I feel like that. Yeah, I definitely feel like that. Yeah.
Well, I know when I was a kid, I didn't have like regular play toys. Everything was hand-me-downs, and most of my cousins that handed me down toys were boys. So I played with Matchbox cars, He-Man, Spider-Man. Now She-Ra, I definitely leaned towards, and same way with Rainbow Bright. and Care Bears, but that doesn't mean that I didn't play with the boys' toys, because I played with them more than I probably played with the girls' toys. I had Barbies. I didn't know what to do with them because I'm just not a girly girl. And then likewise with my husband, he actually requested a Cabbage Patch infant that had a patch of hair, and it was bald. It had to be bald. It had to have blue eyes.
Yeah,
and it had to have a yellow jumper.
preemies.
The preemies. And his mom got him one. I mean, both of us pretty much were raised that way, where it didn't matter what toy it was. You played with it how you played with it. It wasn't like, and I agree that, I really think boys should be taught how to cook, how to clean, get them the toys to be able to do that. Show them how to do it, because let me tell you.
But so should girls, because I know a lot of female people that don't know how to do so many things. Just because, you get into a habit as a parent sometimes where you're in a hurry. You find your own rhythm, and you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're moving through life, you're working, you're coming home, you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're moving through life, that you're not taking the time to have the patience to stand there for 45 minutes and teach your kids how to wash the dishes by hand correctly, because you're in a hurry. It's just a constant, quick, gotta go, gotta get it done, crash, pass out, get up, do it again the next day, to the point where you're not. And because it takes a lot of patience to teach kids how to do this shit,
and energy, and
repetitive fucking over and it's worse than house training a dog, because it's 15 years of just get up, brush your teeth, get dressed, make breakfast. You have to get them in that mode. And even when they're 15, they'll throw a dish out beside the sink and not even scrape it out or rinse it, and you're like, I'm gonna kill you. How long have we been talking about this? How long have I been saying the same damn thing to you? Or you're sitting at the kitchen table. How many times in my now 16-year-old daughter's life have I repeated the words eat? Just a word eat at the kitchen table. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. Because it's, and trying to train a human being how to just make pancakes even, and to clean up after themselves in the process of learning these things is almost maddening, and you get frustrated and you're like, fuck it, I don't have time for this. And you just go through the motions of doing your own thing. But you have to, regardless of sex, you have to get your children trained to take care of themselves. That's really the easiest way to explain it. They have to. And even when Elijah wasn't working, it was, then you're helping out around the house. You're going to help do laundry. You're going to help vacuum. You're going to help clean, everything. And he has, and he does. And Marissa too, it's scrubbing toilets and scrubbing floors and doing, they have to. I'm not going to do it by myself. Fuck you. I'm not your slave. And I'm serious. I'm not.
Yeah.
The thing is that I think a lot of people were just given that and just expect it to be done, and it's not realized how much actually goes into doing all those chores. Because I know it's just my husband and I work full time. He works full time. It's really hard to get a whole lot done. You can look around and...
Well, on top of that, imagine trying to find the time to train two human beings on how to do all that shit too, because that takes time. Training them takes time. And it's not you're not born knowing how to do anything. You know what I mean? It's not all of a sudden
know how to walk.
Right. You don't come out of the womb knowing how to fold clothes. It's not a thing.
My version of folding clothes most of the time is throwing it in a basket, and it's going to stay there until I wear it the next time, because I don't have time for that right now.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like if that's how you're gonna live your life, that's how your kids are gonna live theirs too.
Well, maybe it's a good
You know
thing
what I
I
mean?
don't
Like
have
that's
kids.
another thing. I know, but like most people don't even consider that when they have children is like how you do your shit is how they're probably gonna end up doing their
People
shit.
don't realize how much kids watch.
No, if
And-
I have,
That's
if
how
had
I
more
learned
time,
how to
I'd
do
hang
what I
them up.
do because I watched.
But on top of that, they also make up their own fucking minds.
Yeah.
So even if you are an OCD cleanly
Sure.
person, that doesn't mean they're gonna be too. Like there's so many factors that get lined into this whole mess. It's ridiculous. But if you don't take the time to try, like even attempt to teach them how to make some fucking toast, male or female, they're not gonna know how. You know what I mean? They're eventually gonna leave home and they're like, I don't even know how to make toast, motherfucker. I'm eating McDonald's for the rest of my life. Like they're not even gonna care. They're not even. It doesn't matter if they're boys or girls. You
My
have
husband
to
was that way.
try. Really?
When we got, and that's funny, isn't it? Considering you guys know him, it's not like when we got together.
No, I'm not. That doesn't surprise me. Not because of him, but just because of mentalities. I'm thinking about other people I know who are similar who don't do that kind of thing either.
Like when we first got married, I asked him to. The one day I was just having a really, really rough day, and I called home and I'm like, "Hey, do you think you could make dinner?" I said, "I just don't have it in me to make dinner," and we didn't have the money to go out to eat, like not even to McDonald's for the dollar menu. It was that tight.
Yikes.
So I'm like, oh, we spent quite a few years like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm like, hey, I've had a really rough day. Do you think you could make dinner? And he's like, what? And I'm like, just make
Scramby
dinner.
eggs.
I said, he doesn't even know how to do that.
I know. I'm teasing.
So like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to make it really easy. How about grilled cheese and tomato soup? You know, real easy. So he's like, oh, okay. So he gets off the phone. 5 minutes later, I get a phone call back. Where do I put the butter? The inside or the outside?
Inside. You can put on both. Inside, outside. It don't matter. As long as it's on the outside too.
To me, they were the best grilled cheese ever. I didn't care. It was just a bad day, and I'm like, I still laugh at that, but it really made me see, you know, my husband doesn't even know how to boil water.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to fix that because I asked him
how
to
old
make
were
spaghetti.
you? How old were you guys at that point? Would you say?
I was 23 and he was 25.
Okay. Because I had a girlfriend.
What's that?
Go ahead, Grims.
I was gonna say that's enough of an age to at least know how to make just basic stuff like ramen noodles.
He didn't even know how to do that. I had to teach him how to do that.
I mean, you would think, but like, so I had my one girlfriend had a baby when we were in high school due to unforeseen circumstances. And by the time we were 19, we had graduated. She was 19. We graduated from high school that fall. She married her like late, like tail end of high school sweetheart kind of guy. And then that spring, after we graduated, they moved down to North Carolina. He was in the military. And she had had another baby by the spring. So it was like 2 kids and the 2 of them. And the first time she moved away from home, she's calling me from North Carolina going, I don't know how to do anything around the house. This place is a fucking mess and I don't know what to do. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, I don't know how to use the washing machine. I don't know how do I cook? Like, what do I cook? I don't know how to cook anything. I'm panicking. I'm freaking out. I'm like, well, what do you want to cook? Like, what do you want to cook? That's the thing. Let's start there, you know? And there were days where I would talk her through working her washing machine and her dryer, using the stove. I taught her how to make a roast over the phone, like everything. And I was a year younger than her, but I grew up cooking. Like my parents worked all the time. My mom read all the time. I cooked all the meals from the time I was like, I want to say like 13. I cooked pretty much every dinner we ate as a family from that point on until I left home. So it's like, I at least had that experience. did I have experience paying bills? No, I kind of sucked at that when I got out on my own. But like, you know, I could cook and clean, and take care of myself on that level. It was more like budgeting money and making sure my bills got paid on time that I kind of sucked at a little bit. But you know, I know like male and female. I knew people that like you're saying about your husband. She had no clue, and she had kids at that point, and it's like, you know. How do you change that, you know? And when I had kids of my own, I made that decision that like as soon as my kids could function, I was going to be on standby, but I was going to slowly start to teach them how to manage themselves. You know what I mean? Because I wanted them to be independent.
We have in the family, my husband's married into aunts, so I don't know. Aunt-in-law, whatever, I guess, whatever. Anyway, so she has little kids, and she was always with the belief of, you know, the little, like, they'll be like 3 years old or 2 years old sitting in their high chair, and she'll give them a fork and knife, and it's like,
I don't know.
They're gonna figure it out, or maybe it's like a spoon or something.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they'll figure it out on their own type of thing. Like, no, they'll just figure it out. They're hungry. They'll figure it out. They'll figure out how to feed themselves and stuff like that. I mean, eventually she'll help them with it.
Yeah.
But she wants them to try to figure out or try to, you know, because I mean, in the beginning, you're feeding them with a spoon, feeding them with that. Like, now you just got to get the dexterity of how to get it onto said fork or said spoon or things of that nature.
Helping them, letting them figure that out is actually really good for their mentality.
Yeah.
And it's really good for their fine motor skills too.
Yeah. Just figuring out those type of,
even if they're throwing it. I mean, at least they're working with their dexterity.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's
rather than
why,
their hands.
you know, even when you're first teaching a kid how to eat off of silverware, you know, spoon, plastic stuff, sometimes it's silicone coated, whatever.
Yeah.
Like we would hand the kids like Tupperware silverware, like the plastic, really, they can't do anything with it. It's all smooth, you know, whatever. And hand that to them while you're feeding them. They're watching you and they're trying to feed you, you know, or whatever, you know, it's like a give and take thing. And that's always like, that's a really important, like that's independence there, you know, like they're doing their own thing. That's cool. That's really cool. Now forks and knives and stuff like that. Like my kids didn't have a knife in their hands until I was sure they weren't going to try to kill me with it or themselves. And even now I'm a little sketched out. Like, no, I'm kidding.
So my nephew, he came over to my house and we had spaghetti that night, and he had never had spaghetti. And he had never used fork and he never used a spoon. So we put him in the high chair and I put a plate in front of him, and I thoroughly expected to be cleaning everything up. And you know what? He wore it as hair.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
My favorite was watching those handfuls.
He literally picked it up and put the plate on his head.
Oh, kids are so...
Try being a teacher and dealing with that in a cafeteria.
Yeah.
No, thank you. This was in the privacy of my own home.
Or a kid picking up their bowl with cereal and milk and dumping it.
I have a picture of myself somewhere with my bowl of cereal on my head. I don't know how old I was. Probably.
But it's one thing
Sorry.
when it's a kid in their own home and mom and dad can pick them up and go put in the tub.
Yeah.
Another one.
Oh, that's what I did with the little guy. I was like,
school.
I was like, you're going to the bathtub.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the cat's just loving it because he's running around the kitchen like, oh.
I would imagine Wobbles would be the same. She always waits for me to drop food off.
So I have a question for those that don't have any kids. How do you feel you would handle that as far as like male, female roles and that kind of thing?
Oh yeah, okay.
If said situation was ever presented to you that you had to raise a child, be it yours or adopted or whatever.
You want to go first?
I mean, I think just because not being a parent, but having the experience of working daycare, working in the school with kids, you know, if the kid wants to play with a toy, whatever the toy may be, they play with it. I mean, so for us, even just being, growing up and being around, I've never seen the appeal of saying this is for girls and this is for boys. The one thing that does irk me is when they have two identical toys and one's blue or green or camo and the other's pink.
Right.
I go for the blue or green or camo.
And it's clearly marked boy adventure or girl, princess or whatever, and that just and the girls are 10 times more expensive.
Yeah. The pink tax.
And that's what just drives me crazy, because it's sending a message saying, because of the way you were born, this is how you're labeled and how much you cost.
So let's say a situation was presented to you where either A, you were having a child, or B, you had to take care of a child that would be in your custody for the remainder of its life.
Yeah.
Like whether it's a godparent situation or an adoption situation, you are now responsible to take care of a child that you'll forever be responsible for. So like, how would you deal with that? Would you really have an issue with separating like sexes of toys, or even teaching them how to do things?
Oh, I would definitely make sure they knew how to do things.
Right.
I mean, the fact is, I've known guys I was friends with in high school who they went to college, and of course, they got all their meals in the cafeteria. They never had to learn how to cook. Laundry they had to know because of obviously the dorms, but then they would move out and it was like this, how do I cook? And I mean, absolutely no clue how to do that. I mean, it was kind of like Casper, like your husband, not knowing how to boil water.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, it's like, for someone to just survive,
right,
they need to know.
So regardless of sex, you would just
I
teach
think
them how to do
it,
and not worry about like sex toys, like the sex toys, male or female, or that kind of thing.
No, I mean, I don't care if the kid wants to learn how to eat, and food is everywhere. Food is everywhere. You can clean that up. They want to learn how to drink from a cup, and water is everywhere, or milk everywhere. You can clean it up. Everywhere. It's clothes. You can they can be put in the washing machine. It's a floor. It can be cleaned up. That's why you buy a mat to put under the chair, and you can easily just wipe it up.
Yeah. I mean, this is why you have water battles in the kitchen with the sprayer.
Oh yeah, I have that with my students doing hand washing. I have had it where I am wet because they are playing with the water.
That's awesome.
But it's Bennett, you just smile and grin and go, okay, let's
just keep on going.
Let's just go.
Or you just jump in and have fun with it.
Yeah. That's definitely a thing.
I know we would probably just end up giving them whatever toys they wanted, because I'm sorry, it wouldn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up fixing cars and doing all that stuff. There's no reason that a girl can't do that, and there's no reason that a boy can't be in the kitchen. I mean, how do you think we get some of these chefs that are men that are really good at cooking?
Most of the top chefs are men.
Yeah, most of them are. Yeah,
my cousin's an award-winning, worldwide known chef, and he's a guy.
Yeah, but yet still cooking seen as a female thing.
Yeah, and I don't get that, because
blows my mind, man. Like, that totally blows my fucking mind.
My mom couldn't really cook all that well, and my dad could cook amazing. Like, I learned to cook from my dad. We didn't have a microwave when I was a kid, up until I was 11, I think. So I learned to cook on the stove.
And Brian, just to answer your question, no, I never wear white for many reasons. And right now at work, between the PPEs and the lab coats,
Oh, you guys wear lab coats. Nice.
We have doctor like lab coats. The only thing that bugs me is it has slots that look like pockets, but they're not pockets.
They go into your pockets inside.
They go
They're
into
for scrubs.
your clothes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I get why they're there. It's so you could like if you need to like get your badge or something. But still, like the first time I was like, oh, pockets. Nope, those are not pockets. They're just slits.
How do you feel about all this, Ams?
Yeah, well, that's why I brought my cam up here, because, well, first I'm a firm believer in letting them figure it out for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it means them getting kind of, like, hurt in the process. Like, if you're gonna, like, bolt out into the yard while it's, like, the ground's slick, I'm like, you should
Probably not a good idea.
Probably not a good idea. Like, it's fine. They'll probably like fall and be like, oh no. They'll be like, what'd you learn? So
Right.
I have to like, I guess as a parent, I have to really figure out how to, so I obviously don't want them to get maimed. I don't want them to get in too much trouble or, get too hurt, but I am also that type of person where I prefer to make my own mistakes and I prefer to learn on my own. So that's what I would want from my kid. Is for them to learn on their own and be like, oh, this is why, because it's creating, you can feel that in your head whenever you figure something out, or you're like, that's how I do it. It's so rewarding, it's so cathartic, and I'm just like, I want that for them. And then when it comes to sex, I don't care. I absolutely don't care. If you want to play with girls' toys or how labeled as girl toys, go ahead. Or if you want to play with boys' toys, I don't care. All I care about is your happiness. The only thing that I'm concerned about, since I'm like, when it comes to standing up for myself and my family, I struggle with that. I can't really like come up with a good defense. So that's like the only thing that I'd be scared about is, having some other parent or person walk by and go like, oh, you do this, or oh, you do that, or like, for instance,
a tough one.
What if my son wants to wear a skirt?
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. That is.
So like, and I'd be like, I don't care, go ahead, do it. Like people like across the ages have done this. Like high heels were worn by men first.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So like, why is that such an issue? So, but it would be. It's an issue for me to try to defend it and go like, well, this is what they want to do. This is what they want to do. This is how they feel and what they like. So
I will say that you definitely have to have thick skin when it comes down to the judgment of others as a parent. Like it's as like other adults,
yes.
Like no matter what, you're going to be judged, no matter what you do, no matter how good or perfect of a parent. Notice I did the little finger things.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're never going to be a perfect parent, just like you're never going to be a perfect person. So you're always going to be at odds with someone making calls about whatever it is you're doing. Like Elijah folding clothes at 5. Some people are like, dude, what are you trying to do there?
I'm like,
I
hate folding clothes. I hate it.
You'd be like, here, kid, here's my clothes.
Here you go.
Now, it was only his clothes. Let's get that straight. But it's just one of those things, like you're always going to be at odds regardless. Somebody's always going to have something to say.
It's to the point that when my mom moved in for a little bit, she was bored the one day and she's like, give me something to do. I'm like, okay, you asked for it.
Oh yeah, there's always something to do, man.
Fold the clothes. You can do the dishes.
You don't want to ask me that question. No.
Yeah.
I actually don't mind doing dishes.
I don't.
Hate
When I
it.
was a teenager, I absolutely hated it. Now I look at it and I'm like, it needs to be done. Okay, I don't care.
I actually kind of find it very like mellowing at times.
The only time I like doing dishes is when I'm really pissed off. And I'm just really mad. That's like Gort knows that I'm really mad at him.
Especially when
when
you take that pot that's just stuck on you, it's like
yeah, like he knows if I'm really mad, I just start cleaning and doing a lot of household chores out of nowhere. He's like, oh shit, I hate doing all that crap.
And
that
was
was
weird
me earlier.
I have always liked vacuuming. I've
Yeah,
always liked the
Yeah,
vacuum,
same. Me
and
too.
I like it even more now that we have a cordless vacuum.
Ooh.
Cordless.
We have a
What about you,
cordless-
Grim? Grims, how do you feel about all this? What's your
Well,
perspective?
I've always been more very open on all that type of stuff. I think I've said on the show before, if I could guarantee to have a gay boy who would become a drag queen, I would probably have a kid in a heartbeat. But that would only show that I would be totally open on that. I think when it comes to my perspective on having kids, it is always going to be whatever they want. I think I would have more of a struggle on liking what they like if I don't like it. I don't think I could hide it. I don't think I could. I can't even do it with Gort. He just shows me his shit and I don't care. And I really just don't want him to talk about it. And I don't think I could stand up with a kid, especially when you can't understand the words that are coming out of their mouth. I just like little kids that talk to me about their favorite things, like,
That's all you can do. I mean, honestly, that's all you can do. Is go, oh, really? You just
Yeah.
I just can't.
That's
Or
really
that
all you
one
can do.
movie.
I think I would be more guilty of trying to get them to like my stuff. I think I would be more guilty of this, but then I would be hesitant because then I don't want them to play with my stuff. It would be like, can't go downstairs and play with the Transformers. Those are daddy's toys.
Oh my god, that reminds me.
That would be too much. You can't touch those. So you
Yeah.
have to be older or not. So that's where, I mean, with you in your house, Chan, you have a lot of stuff all over the place. That would be like, but it would be a kid's heaven dream to just go and grab everything and be like, yeah. I think
The way I see it in the end, it's just stuff.
Yeah, I mean, most kids that have come here because there's so much.
of course.
It's like they're very overwhelmed and they just stare at everything
Mhm.
until like JD brings like a tub of Transformers that they're allowed to play with down, and he's like, "Here, you can play with these," and then they just sit on the floor and play with that and stare at everything else. Like, holy crap, this place is crazy.
I mean, it's like
It's
I have
crazy awesome.
Yeah, I have my old playhouse, and it still has all like the pieces. And there was one time we had my nephew over, and I brought it out, and he had a great time playing with it.
That's cool.
Mhm.
He had a great time playing with it. It just can I have a nerdy moment?
Go ahead.
Jason was so proud of me. So he got a figure. And he got it to customize it. And I'm looking at it, it was a Bane. It was not a Bane. It was one of the X-Men figures. And I looked at it and I was like, "You're going to make a Winter Soldier out of that." And he was like, "Yeah. How do you know that?" I was like, "Because of the arm." He was like, "I have to admit, I'm really proud that you knew that's what I was doing."
Nice.
That's when the world is going to hell when you can already tell certain things.
I will say,
Jason, you are right. JD does. He did bring out the bitter
He does that to adults too. Yes.
Yeah, he'll bring out the one toy off the shelf. It's like, look at this one.
No, he brought a whole tub.
Yeah,
no.
And Jason
He will.
and Brian just digging
I mean,
through it.
that's mostly because most adults are like, "I don't want to mess up your shelves," and he's like, "Fine, I'll bring a tub of toys now, and then it won't matter." I will say, Grims, that I agree with you about like the liking the things that kids like thing. That's a super hard one, especially when it's like they like a specific movie and they want to watch it 97,000 fucking times.
That's no difficult.
I'd be right
so
there
difficult.
with them because I'm still in that phase. I never got out of that phase.
No.
But it's always a movie you don't like. I swear to God, it's always a movie you're like, "Okay, I don't want to watch this again. Oh my God, I'm going to beat my head off the wall."
See, that's where then it's a struggle for me to even allow them to even see something of that nature. Like I would have to be able to see whatever it is, and I would influence. I think I would be more guilty of influencing them to my liking. Male, female doesn't matter, but it would be more in that sense. Like if I were to go back to like kids shows, I would try to find like Blue's Clues to show as the learning kid show because I liked that show growing up.
Yeah.
I was older at that time with it, but that would be what I would like to show. And then
There
I
was
was
Barney.
I wouldn't. My sister loved Barney, hated Barney, but Blue's Clues I liked as one. My little sister liked Blue's Clues, so that one was good. Like I would probably like just. But see, then there would be no toys for it or things of that nature, which is where it's sad in that sense. But I think I would just really influence what shows. I would be like the cartoons that I like. I would go with like Animaniacs, or I'm sure would be like Ninja Turtles and X-Men and Spider-Man and things of that nature, which will be all the old school cartoons, I wouldn't want them to watch any of the new stuff like Monster High or whatever there. I'll be like, no, can't watch that. It's banned. Like, they don't get to-
my two favorite were Magic School Bus, speak, and Wishbone. Love
yeah,
those
I
two
love
shows.
Wishbone. Wishbone I used to watch, as well as Ghost Rider. That was another one that I watched growing up.
That must have been after us.
I agree with the Blues Clues as far as educational TV.
Mhm.
Elijah grew up with Blues Clues, and he was ready for pre-K, like it's immediate, like he was on it. It was so good.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And so, like, it's like I think I would be more guilty of that, not necessarily gender fit, but like what you like and what you're watching has to be something that I can at least tolerate.
And I think a lot of parents struggle with that because I knew there were a lot of times when I was growing up, there was a lot of shows like my mom was like, no, you are not watching that.
Teletubbies. My parents were like, nope,
nope.
My sister wanted to watch that shit.
We weren't allowed to watch the Smurfs because it gave my sister nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Wow.
The Smurfs were awesome.
Oh, wow.
But then you realize that there's only one female.
Yeah. They don't procreate. They just grow out of nowhere.
And there were a few others, and she tried to as we got older, like to so we couldn't like ban us from watching like Simpsons and South Park and stuff like that. And she just gave in one day. She just gave in one day, and she says,
"Yeah,
she was like, either you watch it here, or you're gonna go to a friend's house and watch it."
Yeah. I think I would get to that point. It would just like that would be fine if I didn't have to watch it. Like if it gets to a point where you don't have to share it with me, then I won't care anymore on that sense. Like unless I have slight interest, then I think I would be kind of like that. Like
that's the hard part about kids is they want you to be interested in what they're interested in forever. Like it doesn't stop. It's always.
I know, and that's why I would think that I would rather just, at least when they're young enough to not know better, that I would influence them as much as I can to the things that I like, which I mean, I guess any parent in theory wants to do that. And I think that's where it would be guilty is letting them have free reign on those things would be hard. I'm just admitting it. It would be hard. I'd rather you watch the cool stuff. I'd rather put on Harry Potter. Let's watch Harry Potter. I mean, I'll let the kid watch adult movies. I was talking about this the other day. I just watched Beetlejuice again. And I loved that movie as a kid growing up. Loved it. Watching it as an adult is a whole different experience because it starts with a death. I didn't catch that. Like as a kid, I don't really remember that. Like I know they're ghosts, but I don't remember them dying in the beginning of the movie. Like that's
they fell off a bridge.
Yeah, they fell off a bridge and drowned.
Right. Yeah.
Didn't really stick. I mean, he's doing a lot of crazy gestures, honk honk, you know, like the brothel, like that never really stuck out as a brothel to me. Him doing his jack off thing, love in front of Adam, like all that stuff.
What?
There's like
come on, seriously?
There's a lot of that stuff in it. And then the kicking over the tree, nice fucking model. Like none of us stuck as a kid. So I would totally watch these movies and they would think it's cool because Beetlejuice is crazy. It's got crazy clown type things and circus stuff, and that's kind of cool to watch. And there's music, like I'm sure it's like seeing that as experience. I think that's where it would be. I would probably be a bad parent because I would show that shit to my kid and I would just be like, no, we're watching Beetlejuice today. We're watching this 1,000 times. That's what we're going to watch.
I saw Beetlejuice when it first came out. I was pretty young.
No. I mean, and then I watched the cartoon growing up too. So,
right.
But I blame my sister for that. But like, I watched before I was 10 years old. I watched the first couple of the Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mm-hmm.
I can't watch horror movies now.
Yeah. Well, that's arachnophobia was Gort. He used to love playing with spiders, according to his mother, but then his uncle showed him that one night and it went to hell in a handbasket from there.
No. Fuck that movie.
That's like Jaws for
movie, but I have to kill all the spiders now. So.
No, Dad I was afraid of spiders my whole life. Like a little tiny spider would come down off the light fixture in the kitchen, and I'd I shrunk underneath the table and like went out into the living room, and I'm watching the spider dangle. He's like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" I'm like, "There's a spider." He's like, "It's this big. What is wrong with you?"
That's me with mice and snakes.
So he told me to watch Arachnophobia.
That's me with spiders.
he was like, "You won't be afraid of him anymore. That movie's hilarious." I watched it one night, one day. Mom and him and Mom were gone. I think they took my sister somewhere, and I'm home by myself. I put in the VHS tape, and I'm
Be
watching
kind, rewind.
right. I'm watching Arachnophobia by myself, and there are so many times I ran down the hallway crying. I'm hiding under a blanket on the couch. Like, that movie terrified the shit out of me. Okay, it's not a funny movie. It's scary. It's scary as all shit. Like, that's not no.
So what you're saying is Chamber of Secrets is your favorite Harry Potter movie, especially when they're going out into the Forbidden Forest. And
Why
seeing
the spiders? Why follow the
No.
spiders? Why can't you follow the butterflies?
Exactly. I agree with that 100%. No, I'm not down with the spider thing.
So since we've got time, do we want to maybe go back onto what we were?
Me neither.
Our topic?
Our
Do we have
topic?
one?
Gobble, gobble.
Gobble,
we have a
gobble,
topic?
bitches.
Thanksgiving?
Something about
Thanksgiving
what?
canceled. Thank you, 2020.
Yeah.
I guess.
Do we feel like looking back on 2020, like
It sucks.
it's just done? Like it's just done. Like it's like what? I mean, clearly this is all going to still roll into 2021. Is this just like the whole decade almost? Like
Let's hope not.
I really hope not. I don't.
I think the few things I'm thankful for this year has been
better not
obviously my 1-year anniversary with Jason and the start of this podcast.
Right on.
Yeah, there you go. Start of this podcast is a really good
Sweet.
I think that's why I feel like this year hasn't been a total bust. Like, I feel like there's been a lot of high points, and I mean, there's been some serious lows, but there's also been some pretty good high points as well. If you think about it in that way. When,
Well, for
I
me,
got a lot
There's
of
been way
cleaning
more
done.
worse than
Hmm.
good.
I don't know. I mean, JD and I got to spend a lot of time together this year, which is, spent some months together, which has been pretty nice, having him home, getting things done around here, working a plan out to kind of straighten this house up even more. Just, our business, trying to get that moving, even though it's been kind of slow going. Like there's been some good things. I don't think it's been total shit. I miss people. I think that's more the total downer in all of this is just not being able to hang out and carry on with all you crazy people. Getting to conventions, that's been another one that's
Oh my gosh, I've missed conventions. They've already canceled some of our regular conventions for next year already. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
I
Going
know
through such
this year
withdrawal.
it just sucks because this year, like before COVID, I had told myself, and I think I said this before, that I was going to go to all the local conventions that were around just to get myself to do more.
Well, you did. You did.
Yeah,
Absolutely none of them.
yeah, I did have none of them.
Oh, I saw a kitty butt.
Oh yeah,
Kitty butt real fast, quick.
hardly.
I mean, and one thing is like, I've gotten a lot of cleaning done. I've gone on I went on lots of walks, spent lots of time, of course, with Jason, with my parents, with Magnus, to the point where like Magnus now apparently mopes because I'm not around all the time.
Aww.
See, I've not experienced any of that. I went
You have
from
cats.
well,
No,
thing
the
is,
the cats might miss me and things of that nature. They want their morning cuddles. They need all that stuff.
yeah. I didn't experience any of that during the whole COVID thing. I was working as a home care nurse, and then I went and worked in the hospital, and then I lost my job, and then I'm working as a home care nurse again, and it's just not. It doesn't stop. It's actually getting.
I mean, you're a frontline worker, so I mean, that right there just says a lot.
It's just me. I mean, I have to. It's not something that like I do for anybody. I mean, I do it for everybody else because it's hard. I mean, you probably saw earlier I was trying not to yawn.
Oh, don't worry. I mean,
It's
it's like me going back to work. I have to. It's just part of my job.
yeah.
Yeah.
And-
And then of course Anna never stopped
Yeah.
working.
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, and I lost my
Nope.
dad.
Matter of fact,
earlier in
I
the
work
year.
even more now.
I lost my dad earlier in the year, so it's kind of just been a really crappy year, and I'm still having to deal with stuff that goes with that.
Mhm.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And so now I don't have my parents, and it's just been a really rough year.
Yeah.
Fuck
Understandable.
you, Tony. Fuck it. Fucking, we'll never miss you. The year 2020.
Exactly.
Right.
Although I might end up the year on a positive note. That is if my husband doesn't divorce me before the end of the year.
Uh-oh.
What?
That's strong words.
Yeah, right.
So I told you earlier that he was a little upset at me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, being a home care nurse, my car is not appropriate. It's not working well. And every time I turn around, it's in the shop lately.
Oof.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and applied for a car loan and I got it. And I put in for a 2019 Ford EcoSport.
Whoa.
Yeah.
If you're funneling a lot of money into a car, at that point, it's just not worth it. Like you, might as
Especially
well-
when your car
Yeah.
is your office.
Yeah.
I spend 8 hours a day in that car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, the
you
horn
need
doesn't
something that's
work.
reliable.
The horn doesn't work. The windows don't go down. I mean, right now it's vibrating all over the place. It's like,
That's not safe.
Yeah.
No.
And you need a car that you can get from your home to the client's house to the other client's house and not break down somewhere between point A, B, and C.
and where
And
we
then-
live is rural area, and so this is a 4-wheel drive, and the car is vibrating, like my car is vibrating all over the place. I just replaced the sway bar, and then 2 weeks later, now it's vibrating, and have no idea what's going on. And I keep telling him, I'm like, I know that you wanted to wait until we got the Highlander paid off, but I'm sorry, but this is gonna have to happen.
You're putting
Mhm.
more money into the car that's not
Yeah,
worth
definitely.
it.
It's a Cavalier, for crying out loud. A 2003.
Right.
I mean, it's only got 104,000 on it, but it's
Brian
falling apart.
says if he divorces you, he'll starve.
That's true.
I mean, you need to do what you need to do because
Yeah.
it's.
I mean,
just-
that's why I bought my car, because I needed to drive around in a tank to feel safe. Like you should feel safe, you should be safe.
Yeah.
You should, if you're going to spend that much time in a vehicle, it should be comfortable, and then
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't think he should be upset about it.
No.
I mean, it's whatever. He might be.
I mean, he's
regardless.
going to be pissed off. Let him be pissed off. He'll get over it. I mean, and you could tell him this way. Look,
Oh yeah.
when I get a new car, I'm going to be safe. It's going to be reliable.
Mhm.
There's no chance of it breaking down on me and me being late and possibly losing my job. Because that's one of
got heated seats.
and you're going to be comfortable. So you know what? I love your husband, but he can get the fuck over his ego right now.
So what you do is when you're ready to tell him,
problem. That
you
is
just
his.
forward to this portion of the podcast and just let him watch it and just
He
get the
can-
news broken that way.
His ego can go fuck himself, because that's all this is. It's an ego thing.
Holy shit, man.
You have every right to be comfortable. And if that means you need to get a new car to be comfortable and do your job, because I know what it's like to live in a car for a job. I did it for almost a year. You have
if
to
you
have
have a
something that's
car-
reliable.
And if
Mhm.
you have a car that's not, it's just like, oh my god.
It's that every mile of going, oh God, please just make it to the next
Yeah.
to the next.
Because then what's the point of it? Because then, as you said, Bethany, that if you can't make it to the job, then you're losing out on the money then anyway.
Yeah.
From that end.
Yeah.
Right. And you're risking losing said job to only then have to find another one eventually.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I don't want to do that again. Oh my gosh, no.
So you could go get your new car, enjoy it, love it, be happy, and he can just get the fuck over it.
And I'm sure you didn't go and get you didn't get a Maserati or whatever those crazy cars are or any of that stuff. I mean, there's a difference between doing that and being a reasonable car.
Right.
It's
like
a
something practical.
$16,000 car.
Yeah.
It's not
See?
like it's like
There you go.
20,000, 30,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's used lightly, but used.
That's good.
That's what mine was.
Sometimes that's the best thing.
Mine
Because
too.
the kinks have been taken care of.
Yeah, get a couple thousand miles under it,
Yeah.
under the hood, and it's usually got a little coziness in the seat, doesn't it
Well,
It has
and-
some used fart smell, but not a lot. You can
You just don't think about it.
A vehicle isn't
I was
a
just thinking,
transmission and
heated
an engine
seats,
aren't actually.
farts.
They're not. Yep. There's
Well-
filters. You'll be all right.
Go ahead, Anna. What were you gonna say?
A car isn't actually broken in. An engine and a transmission aren't broken in until you break 1,500 miles at least.
That's true.
So you got a car that's broken in. You don't have to break it in. Yep.
Yeah, this has under 10,000 on it.
Oh, that's
Nice.
great.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
And it's candy blue.
Ooh.
Sweet.
Yeah,
when
it's
are you getting it?
Next Friday.
Awesome.
Eh,
You have to send pictures in the chat so we can see it.
I will.
Yes. Yes.
And the picture of Eric's sour face as you tell him what I told him to do and he can do.
Oh God.
He can
Oh, boy.
He went storming out of the house earlier when I told him.
Yikes. Oh.
But he's not on
Wow.
he's not on the loan. I did it myself.
That's
Just
all right.
you?
Just me.
I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I don't think I would make a direct decision like that without first talking to JD. Like that's just
we've been
me,
I've
though.
been talking to him about it, but the thing is that he wanted to go with me to pick out the car, and I just kind of wanted what I wanted,
right.
kind of thing.
I gotcha.
And he had said that after I sold my mom and dad's van, and selling the Cavalier, and we paid off the Highlander, that I could do it. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know that this is going to last that long. Expediency is in the air, considering we've already had snow.
Mm.
Cavalier's not
Yeah.
4-wheel drive.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
Can we get
It's going to be a
blow
rough
up
winter.
of AMS and what she's doing right now?
Yeah, I
Because it
was
looks
gonna
like
say,
she's
what are we doing?
finishing up, and I'm kind of curious
Yeah.
how she's
it
closing
started
this.
looking like an anus there for a little bit.
So what are you doing, AMS? What do you got going on?
So I sealed one end, and then I'm
Mhm.
trying to seal the other one. I poofed it, and then what I'm gonna do? I don't think I'm gonna have time to finish it, but there are these little sides here. And I'm gonna run a thread down there so that it kind of puckers
Mhm.
It's a
Mhm.
like
pumpkin.
a pumpkin.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do
I
a
was gonna
stem on the top?
Well, I'm trying to follow this tutorial. Doesn't it look like they use like a like a piece of cinnamon?
Oh, nice. Okay.
Stem.
Oh, that's
pretty
neat.
Yeah, I think they just shoved it in the center. So
So is this gonna
Oh,
go on
wow.
your table for Thanksgiving Day?
yes, it's gonna be my centerpiece, and it's gonna be wonderful. And I'm so
Very
excited.
cool.
Yes.
Very cool. I mean,
I need
okay.
to figure out how to be able to knit, but there
I would
again,
love
I'm not
to-
very girly, so I haven't
You
figured
have
that out
to do
yet.
that. There are
Yeah,
guy
that's-
knitters. Going
yeah,
back to the
total.
whole sex
Total.
thing, you know, if you have sons or daughters that want to knit, go for it, man. I
I'm
love
pretty
seeing male knitters.
Pretty
it's
sure
so-
Elijah can crochet.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he
Oh,
can.
Well,
I can
speaking
crochet a
of,
line.
of a Thanksgiving dinner, what's everyone, despite the fact that this year's kind of been shit?
I was just
It
I was just
sucks.
gonna say.
What's everyone looking forward to that's going to be on your table this year?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Of course, the turkey, because it's so funny. My parents are they still plan to travel, so that's a whole different conversation. But we'll come back to that. But my mom insists that she has turkey left over, so I have to do a turkey. So I'm doing that, and what else am I doing? Here we go. Hang on. Trying to like think and do multiple things at the same time. Excuse me.
We're fine.
Like Hawaiian sweet rolls. Yeah, I tried those. I had never had those like at all. And like King's Hawaiian rolls.
Mhm.
And I
So
tried those,
good.
like a few
Yeah.
weeks ago, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I want to have these.
I'm always back and forth between those and potato rolls because I love both.
Yeah.
Like I have such a hard time with that because I really shouldn't eat the gluten, but for God's sakes, man, the potato rolls.
I can't. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'd love to, but I can't.
I think for me are my mom's spiced peaches. And we're actually gonna have whole peaches this year. Normally she only does she buys the slices and does it that way. But because it's such a small crowd, she actually found whole peaches and she's gonna spice those. And the
That sounds good.
Ukrop's White House rolls. So we have to find a food line that we have to go to the local food line down from, not quite down from us, but down in Lorton to see if they have any of them.
Can you share the spiced peaches recipe?
Yes, please.
They're really, I mean, I could probably ask my sister because she might have a recipe. My mom's kind of been one of those. She's like, does it look right? Does it
Like
smell
us.
right?
Yeah. When you
Like
can
us,
hear the
Jan.
echo of your ancestors telling you to stop putting spices in,
That's
when you
pretty
do-
much my mom. I'll find out if
Pretty much.
I'll find out. So I
Yep.
know my sister has replicated it. If she's
or at least
bring-
just ingredients.
Yeah, and I know one of it is it's some sort of like liqueur or something that she adds to it that kind of gives that
Ooh.
like bite.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Oh,
That might
these
be a
things are-
bourbon of some sort, or
I think it's some sort of like orange liqueur or something,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that makes sense.
and it's just they
Mulled
go
cider.
with everything. I mean, you get that juice and potatoes, your turkey through it, the roll
Yeah.
through it.
I'm like salivating.
I'm probably I'm having a hard time because I'm sort of looking forward to everything. But I'm gonna try to talk Dad into doing his cranberry sauce because even though I can do it, I like it when Dad makes it. Like it's a little more tart. He doesn't put as much sugar in it as most people do, and it's just get Dad over here. It'll be a good time. Miss Natalie will probably bring some deviled eggs because that's her jam. She makes the best ever. So there's that. I'm probably
with that
gonna
bacon on top.
Yeah, she puts the bacon on top. I'm probably gonna be baking all week. So other than like the savory and just being in the kitchen and all the savory smells and the sauces and the gravies and the mashed potatoes and the turkey and all the delicious smells, I'm probably gonna be baking all week now that I got my ovens, and it's just gonna be cookies and apple cake and pumpkin pie, and I got to do an apple pie because that was Sandy's thing, and that's like that memory. One of those memories from Thanksgiving was having her at the house the one year teaching the kids how to make her from scratch apple pie, which is just like the press dough. She makes like the dough in the pan and then presses it all in instead of rolling the dough out.
Oh, cool.
And I have
That's
a
how I do
picture
mine.
somewhere of like her hands, my cousin Angie's hands, and Marissa's hands all pressing the dough together. And it gotta love those memories and just those smells. I'm looking forward to that. Some hot apple cider and like all that kind of goodies.
Mulled cider. Yeah.
I always have to have Martinelli's
Yummy.
the sparkling apple cider.
Oh, yeah.
The best. Like, have to have it. Max is absolutely bonkers for it, and he'll kill a whole bottle on his own.
See, that's me in real shit. we will finish off Thanksgiving with like 12 empty bottles of champagne.
Ooh, man.
Well, it's a big. Well,
Good
when we
thing.
had the whole family together.
Oh, okay. I think my favorite thing that I look forward to every year is I make a Mexican cornbread.
Mm.
Ooh.
It's a spoon bread. It's very moist. It's very, very good. And I introduced that about 4 or 5 years ago. And my family just, we have more of a Friendsgiving, but everybody just absolutely loves, like, they will like tackle each other for it.
I believe it.
I have to
Oh, wow.
actually like step back. I'm getting the last spoon. Like, I never have any of it left.
That's my godmother and her fudge. When she comes in with the fudge, everyone just like descends on it. There's nothing left.
What is with you today? You don't need to knock everything.
I will say that I feel like that's one thing that this year has kind of put in play that maybe everybody's sort of avoided throughout the years, is it's kind of like pushed people a little tighter together than it normally would have. So as much negativity as there is over the year, I think that, you know, whoever it is that is directly near you, as far as like friends, family, or otherwise, like it just pushes you a little closer together. I think that's a good thing. I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Jason said something about a Zoom call over Thanksgiving. I'm down with that. That would be such a good time.
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
That would be
I'm good with
cool.
that, yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
That sounds really nice.
That
Yeah,
would
we
be
can all
freaking
be-
awesome.
We can all be in each other's houses for Thanksgiving.
That'd be fun. We should
There you
play
go.
like Cards Against Humanity or something across the
across
Across the
on
Zoom.
You made a little butt cheeks.
Yeah, I
Look at
know.
the pumpkin butt cheeks.
It's got a little booty.
That's
It's a pumpkin ass.
It's got bubble butt.
Ow!
Bubble, bubble,
That's
bubble.
cute.
Bubble,
That's
bubble,
cute.
bubble.
You just got a cat butt in your face, in our face.
What about you, Grims and Anna? What are you guys looking forward to?
Taking a day off of work.
Nice.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Just not
well,
having to
that
be
just
there.
means-
Yeah.
But this means then working on Black Friday, so
Go
Yeah.
good luck.
Yeah, me too.
it's hard to look forward to something when you're about to suffer right afterwards. But
I know.
No, yeah, I understand
Exactly.
that. God.
it is what it is.
My Black Friday will be spent prepping for inventory. So I have inventory 2 days after Christmas. So
I've never been a fan of Black Friday.
I have to
I'm
prep for that.
I like it just for
No?
the fun that my mother-in-law and I have. We try to see how many stores we can get in and out of in a 5-hour period.
Well, except for this year.
Yeah,
We-
Gort used to do stuff with his sister.
We always go to Walmart, and I think it's become a family tradition of we go to Walmart, we always get 1 or 2 things, and we just stand there and people watch the entire time and see all the crazy fucked up people that there are.
Mhm.
Oh God,
Oh, yeah.
11 o'clock at night on Thanksgiving night, you know, you're like standing there watching idiots fight over a fucking Tonka truck, and it's like, what the hell are you doing? They're gonna have more pallets of them sitting in that big old freaking sea container out back, you know.
But it's the deal. Like, you have to get it.
But
You
yeah.
have.
Oh,
I figure if
Of
it's not there when
course,
I
you
get
have
there,
to.
I wasn't meant to have it.
Yeah.
I don't normally leave my house. I'm in
exactly.
from like Tuesday on. I'm cooking, I'm baking, I'm having a good time. Even Friday, I'm busy. I'm, prepping for turkey soup, or, busy making like leftover turkey sandwiches with like slices of stuffing and gravy and just, and Like I'm not even worried about people or Black Friday or anything like that.
Mhm.
As Jason would say, his Black Friday is sitting down at the computer and going, okay, Amazon.
A lot of the printmakers I follow are actually having their Black Fridays this weekend. Some tomorrow, some on Saturday. So it's a lot of
Nice.
that type of stuff. But yeah, I have nothing shopping rise to go out and desire.
No, I'm gonna buy most of my Christmas presents for friends and family through like friends that are artists and people who are creative that I know directly. I'm not interested in shopping any other way. If I'm not making it, or if like somebody I know isn't making it, I'm not going to be giving it as a gift this year, just because I want to support my friends and that kind of thing, as opposed to like larger companies. And I'm not buying anybody a TV or anything. Like I'm good. Like it's all cool.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. Yeah,
Well, I make proton packs. They're on sale at all times.
Oh,
At
yeah.
all times. They're on sale or for sale?
Both.
Very nice.
Well, no, for sale.
Yeah, for sale. For sale.
I know a girl that that JD and I went to high school with who just got a wheel and is making all sorts of pottery over this last year. She's really been perfecting it. And
Ghost.
huh?
She does Ghost.
She does all kinds of cool stuff. I just bought a bunch of mugs off of her to give away for Christmas.
I understood what you were calling.
Well, I know you're talking about, Patrick Swayze.
Yeah. I got it too. It's usually just her and her dog in the basement, so it could be her and Patrick Swayze and the dog, and we all just don't know. But she's making some really pretty stuff. I brought the mugs home that I bought from her, and I put them on the counter, and I'm looking at JD, and then Marissa and I are looking at them the next day, and I'm like, I'm not sure which ones I want to. If I want to, I kind of want to keep them. I'm like, man, this is gonna be hard, but yeah, it's just more fun that way, you know.
Repurposed holiday gifts.
Repurposed holiday gifts.
I like those.
You have a closet full
like
of
repurposed holiday gifts.
You ever know somebody who had like a closet full of gifts that were they didn't want, so they just give them away like a few years later? I had a girlfriend who used to do that shit. She had like boxes of like cheap jewelry that her family would give her or something like that, or like the little gift sets, and she just wouldn't open it. She just like kind of open it enough, and then she'd just squirrel it away in the closet and give it to somebody else a few years later.
As long as she didn't re-gift it to that same
person. Yeah. I can check where did I give it and make sure I do it in a different circle of friends.
I've known people who've done that, but they have like little stickies on it, like who gave it to them, like what year. So then they can be like, oh, nope, can't do that one.
Yeah.
So look at her cute little pumpkin, Ams.
Ooh.
Really cute.
Aww.
There you go.
Cute.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
Neat.
I think a cinnamon stick would be perfect in the top of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try that. I need to go out and buy some. That'll be Saturday. So yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
One of the favorite things that I like to do for my husband's family, who used to not be so rowdy, they've become so much more rowdy during Christmas, because I usually buy them things like, indoor snowballs so they can have an indoor snowball fight. One year I bought them marshmallow shooters.
Oh, they're fun.
Nice.
Yes, those are so much fun.
And I bought them 2 bags of ammo.
Yep.
Ammo.
It was fantastic. I tend to do stuff like that. I get myself in so much trouble.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's because those marshmallows go randomly, and then they,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you get ants.
Or
That's
the dog
it.
eats them.
That was like Jason and his brother and 2 buddies that went out to Walmart and came back with just Nerf guns. We had a huge Nerf gun battle in his mom's
I'm
house.
telling you, we need to have one of those at some point.
We have a closet.
We've got them hidden behind almost
They are
every
so
door
much
in this
fun.
house.
We have a closet full of Nerf guns.
Okay, so you and Jason bring your Nerf guns, and we'll have our Nerf guns, and we'll just have a whole war in the house.
That
sound
sounds
good?
like fun. That sounds like lots of fun.
Good. Next time we all can get together, that's what we'll do. Nerf 4.
I like it.
I'll bring the semi-automatic
Sounds
one.
like fun to me.
Like the
Cool.
freaking
Yeah.
the drums. Oh yeah, we'll go to war.
We have the crossbow.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, anywho. Oh,
Jason's gonna send us TP. Yes, Jason, please do, because there's no TP anywhere now.
There's no TP in Pennsylvania.
Again.
It's running low here in Virginia too.
it's a good thing I stocked up last week. I didn't know that this would become a thing again.
Yeah.
You know, people have stocked up enough. I guess we all went through our supplies.
Damn near. Yeah. We're
Yeah,
very,
pretty much.
very close.
But anywho, we're at the end here, so we'll do a quick wrap up with everyone. We got our whole. That's cute.
Sorry.
I like that.
Sorry.
You can make a pumpkin hat.
Oh,
Put a little band on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
That's
That would be
cute.
really cute.
Yeah. That's cute. That's fun.
Pumpkin beret.
Well-
Pumpkin beret.
Since you're making something, Ams, why don't you talk about your
Yeah, man.
business?
I do all kinds of stuff like this. I'm getting in more into knitting. I don't really have a portfolio for it, but trust me, it's good. You can email me, message me on Facebook. I also do basic digital art, and don't be afraid to talk to me. I will get back to you. I usually try to be really quick about it, and we can definitely work something out. I also have Instagram and all kinds of all those things.
Oh, that.
You can pause and go through. So, yeah.
Okay. Next up, Chan.
Oh, the shelf gravies. Yeah. Social media of all types. Check out Shelf Gravy. We also do a show every other Wednesday where we give tips and tricks and have all kinds of fun and crazy conversations. Next week is a Shelf Gravy week. Yes.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Bethany.
Obviously, Nerds
Sweet.
of Spoken podcast. They usually have their show up Thursday mornings. Yeah, and then of course the Saturday night meetups. Hopefully he will be getting back on that because the last few Saturdays he hasn't gotten one. So hopefully maybe this Saturday he will.
Also shout out. Let's see if I do it right this time. MPSP, right? Is that it? Yeah, I got it right this week. Shout them out, of course, for all the ladies, significant others who are part of that. Casper, do you want to shout out yours?
shout out to Hole in the Ground Productions. I got to get my little logo up eventually here.
Okay.
www.holeinthegroundpro.com. We do props, diorama pieces, a little bit different than Chan. He cakes over there. And then, there you go.
Oh yeah,
There you
I
go.
was gonna say I can take a picture of your card and
Yeah, we got to do that.
Yeah.
So,
Very cool.
that we do props and diorama pieces. We also do set pieces. So, and we do a lot of replica props too.
yeah, cool stuff. Definitely.
And then
Very
last
cool.
shout out for Dust Mice and him making us our awesome theme music. So we'll definitely want to give him a shout out. Check out all his albums and music because of course it's nice, easy listen. No, I guess it's easy listen. No, but it's nice music. It's good to listen to. Like
It's
Yeah.
enjoyable.
enjoyable. There we go.
Now, are we going to
Good
be
word.
having a show next week? Or are we taking next week off? Speaking
I
of Thanksgiving.
think Thanksgiving. I was planning
It-
it being an
uh,
off week. It's just going to be too much, I think, probably for everyone. So we'll
It's too
see
much for me.
everyone
Take it.
in
Yep.
2 weeks. Of course, you can follow us on
Oh,
all
yeah,
the social medias.
I
Oh, sorry,
wanted
go ahead.
I wanted to shout out real quick because I just realized, and I'm a terrible, terrible, terrible wife. I just realized today's my 26th anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Terrible.
So happy anniversary,
like-
Russ. I just completely, I literally looked, I looked on my phone and I went, wait a minute, today's the 19th. Son of a bitch. It's my anniversary.
Actually, it's the 19th.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 19th. Yeah, that's my anniversary. Yeah. I'm a terrible woman.
Happy anniversary.
Happy, yeah.
Anniversary?
I'll turn in my card tomorrow.
You're turning your.
Yes, so happy anniversary. Enjoy. Oh,
There's where you can find Dust's latest album on Bandcamp. It's Nothing Lasts Forever. That's the name of the album. Check it out. It's good stuff.
It is fucking awesome.
Very good. Yeah. Awesome.
You gotta get his banner too. Get that put up. I'm on here, so we'll reach out to him. But also you can find us on all your favorite podcasts, listening thingies, something
of all kinds.
Take us on the go. So if you don't want to watch us, you don't want to see our faces, I guess listen to us instead.
Yeah.
But outside of that,
And shout out to Kate watching the season finale of Supernatural. She's
probably having a full ball fit and everything. Hopefully she's doing good, and we'll see everyone in 2 weeks.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Awesome. Happy Thanksgiving.